then I'll let you know. All right, there we go. We are live on YouTube with Youssuf El Adlani. Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Ah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hi, everyone.
Fantastic. All right. So, welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Champions. Great to have you on. Thank you as well for affording us the opportunity to reschedule. I know it was a little bit tiring coming back from WPC and driving and all of the photos. So,
Indeed.
appreciate it that we got a chance to chat now.
It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So, you're currently in France, but I mean, you mentioned a little bit of powerlifting in Italy. If I get that right, that's amazing. I mean, that's fantastic. Tutto bene. Huh? There.
Tutto bene.
Tutto bene. Sì, oh, molto bene, molto bene. So, give us a little bit
Both
of
is right.
both are fantastic. There we go. Give us a little bit of a rundown as to who you are and your background in powerlifting and how you got started.
Of course. So I'm actually Italian. I'm not French, even
Ah,
though I live in France. Yep. I've been living in Italy
are you teaching?
until I
Yeah,
was
so
16 or 17.
okay, sorry to interrupt you. Are you teaching the French about style?
I'm trying to sometimes,
Oh,
especially about food.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, food for sure. 100, please, please. Prego.
And so, yeah, I
Mm,
came to France
okay.
when I was 17. And well, I just ended up training in a gym because I didn't spoke French
Hmm.
at that time. So I just needed sport where I could train on my own. And I saw some guys lifting like 300 kilo deadlifts and stuff, and I said, "Yeah, that looks pretty dope. I would like to do the same." And that's how it started.
Okay, fantastic.
And since then, that was back in 2016. And then I took my first coach by the end of the year. And since then, I kind of never stopped training powerlifting, and I became a coach a few years
Fantastic.
later.
What made you move from just training in the gym to starting to compete? And what was that first competition like?
So I started to compete just because my first coach was a coach who already trained many athletes,
Hmm.
and I was pretty good at it. So he told me, "Well, let's try it." I was also in the process of getting French nationality,
Hmm.
identity card. So at that time, where the level was pretty low compared to now, I was in the range to hit the junior record total in France.
Okay, wow.
So we said, let's try to hit some PRs in comp and see does we get to.
Hmm.
And so the first comp was pretty nice experience. I remember the first three squats. My like I couldn't see properly, like so
Hmm.
stressed, so in a flow that I actually don't know what happened really, but
Right.
it was very nice. And so yeah, it was a very nice experience. I PR'd on squats. I messed up on bench and deadlift, but that experience,
Yep.
you
All right.
know.
Yep. Absolutely. If we're not
So yeah,
messing up in your first comp, you're not trying hard enough.
yeah, indeed.
And then was that sort of the time that you decided this is something that you want to do? This is really where you want to compete?
Like I never had to think about it. It just became really routine in my life. I just enjoyed so much training. I was ready to do everything it takes to make it to the gym, and
Hmm.
so yeah, one
And then,
becomes
absolutely fantastic. And so, 5 times Italian champion, absolutely
strong.
phenomenal. What motivated you to go for the championship and then to keep on at it? That's absolutely incredible. Oh, have you got us still? I think we
I'm
may.
sorry, I think my connection was not very
Okay.
good.
I think, yeah, we may have lost you a little bit there. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah,
Okay, fantastic.
yeah,
Okay, great.
looks
Well,
like.
what I wanted to ask was just what was in the, 5 times Italian champion, for you, what was it that made you want to win, to become the best, and then to stay on at it, to say, right, this is something that I want to commit to.
Indeed. So of course, even before doing my first meet where I was actually competing to get a result from the struggle I've been through, you know.
Right.
So my first year in Italy was actually my last year as a junior. So I got to qualify for Euros and actually win Euros as a junior in 2019. So yeah, it was just to you know, I spent 4 years of my life training very hard, and I just want a result from it. You
Yes.
know, just don't do it for the sake of it. And then just I enjoyed the competition, and it's not that I wanted to stay on the edge. It's just that
Hmm.
I wanted to train. I want to be strong, and actually, the motivation comes falling off when I don't have challenges. You know, so it's not staying on the edge the problem. It's where it's easy to stay on the edge that it becomes the problem.
Yes,
Since
absolutely.
Italy back in the days, it was not still up to par with the rest of Euros countries.
Hmm.
And now it's moving very well. In Italy, there are a lot of strong athletes. And that kind of motivates me more actually to stay on the edge. Like that's what I'm looking for.
100%. It's great that you mentioned that because that's something that I wanted to touch on. If you look between 2016 and today, in both France and in Italy, the sport has grown tremendously. So let's chat about Italy first and then about France. What do you think has been fueling this growth? And what has the growth been like for the community? For those who have been in it for a while, are they loving it? Are they feeling it? Hey, it's getting a little bit too big. What's the sense in Italy with the growth in powerlifting?
Well, so in Italy still it's pretty small compared to France.
Mm,
So I don't see the same tendencies, you know, the same patterns. So in Italy, it's kind of still in the moment where it's pretty cool. Everyone knows each other. There are some fights in
yeah.
between teams, but it's still pretty cool. And the sport is not evolving as quickly as in France,
Okay.
uh, but it's getting
Mm,
there, you know. And I think for someone who's trained powerlifting since a decade, with of course everyone feels like we are getting to a point where powerlifting is becoming something we don't like.
mm,
But I think that's we need to go through it. Every sport that is big enough has his problems, you know.
yes,
Football, basketball, you know how it works.
absolutely.
Uh, so in federations, competitions, you start to see problems that need to be addressed, but there are just minor problems as long as the athletes are respected and stuff.
Hmm.
I don't think there's any issue that just need to very quickly be addressed, you know.
100%. In Italy, is it that where there's a fight between different clubs, they'll have the fight and then they say, okay, andiamo, let's go eat. Let's go.
Well, I'd like to, but no, actually, the fights that there are, they don't speak to each other, you
Mm,
know. But like, as long as during competitions and stuff, the athletes are not stressed about it. It's
yes.
all it takes. You know, it's a small world, but there's place for everyone. So
Absolutely. I love that. There's space for everyone for sure. France now has really grown. They're
yeah,
dominating. I think not only are they dominating on the platforms, they're dominating on social media. They really got it down
indeed.
really well with the athletes promotion and so on. What do you? How has that growth been? What do you think was the starting point? If you look at 2016, 2017, even 2018 and 19 up to now, what's that growth come from?
Well, I think it's a bit of a like luck factor
Hmm.
because France had very quickly very strong women in the
Yes.
sport. There was like four or five of them
With
who were winning
very
Euros and
narrow
world
squat
champion.
stance, right?
Yeah, the classic one,
Yeah,
the French style,
yeah,
and very low bar.
yeah.
And yeah, so we had many strong women in the first years winning Euros, world champs, and that kind of I think helped the federation to grow in a way, in some way. And well, the main thing in France is, of course, that the federation is supported by the state in some
Mm-hmm.
way, and that we have big influencers, especially Panache. Of course, everyone knows him,
Mm-hmm.
who's been probably the one who brought most people to the sport, which is a good thing. Of course, when you do that, you bring a lot of people that actually are not very good at the sport, don't understand sport. But like the first step in is the most important one,
Mm-hmm.
and then they get coaches, they get things, and the main thing now is to learn how to keep them, because
Yes.
powerlifting, of course, is a sport where you can't live from it, unless you're very
Mm-hmm.
top end
Mm-hmm.
of elite athletes or very known on the social media. So yeah, now the main thing will be in the future years to find a way for at least national, international level athletes to like do not have to live a stressful life like work stuff
Yes.
and
Like a footballer, right? At pro level, even at club level, there's the
not as
fun.
rich, but
No,
yeah,
yeah, not as rich.
that's
Correct. That's it.
the
Yeah. We always joke that you don't see powerlifters in Bugattis in Monaco causing problems. You know.
indeed. That's true.
You know, so at least not yet. Maybe we can get the sport to that level. But I think those who love the,
Hopefully,
yeah,
I don't
hopefully.
think so, but it would be nice.
Yeah, it would be great as well for the coaches as well. So let's chat about that. For you, moving from an athlete to a coach, what made you make that decision?
So I actually started coaching for free. Just few friends asked me in the gym and told me, "Yeah, I would like a helpful hand." And so I said, "Yeah, of course, I would like to do it. Let's try it." And I enjoyed it so much that I actually changed. I was in university at that time,
Mm-hmm.
trying to become a teacher,
Ah,
and I actually enjoyed so much coaching that I said, "Let's try it the other way." Yeah.
but that is teaching, right? At the end of the day.
In some way, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but you can't beat well, I suppose you can't beat your students. You can hit the powerlifters.
No, especially most of them are online, so I can only speak to them. But
Yes,
yeah.
exactly, exactly. We've got a comment for you from Kevin Batista, FAC. He says,
Oh,
"You."
it's a friend of mine.
Oh, fantastic! Well, there, bonjour, Kevin. There, don't get so one of the athletes. We just had WPC World Champs in South Africa, and I was chatting to one of the
Okay.
athletes on Instagram, and I just said to him, "Merci," and then boom, he started everything in French. I was like, "Wait, wait, wait! Google Translate."
Yeah, they used to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for you, just as a question, because I think for a lot of coaches start off as lifters, what has been more rewarding for you, or have they both been rewarding but in different ways with the competing and the coaching?
That's a very tough question because it's been a
It's a
kind
tough question show. Come on, Yusuf.
It's true. It's been very hard to like kind of choose between the two uh, for the last few
Mm,
years because like I feel like I can't commit 100% to one and the other.
hmm
I have to choose what to prioritize. And if in the first years I was for sure prioritizing being an athlete, when I started to it became my full-time job
mm,
and
mm,
I started to have more athletes, more competitive athletes. I kind of started switching from being feeling myself as an athlete more than a coach to really feeling more like a coach than an
hmm
athlete. I'm trying to keep it up like the athlete side because I feel like I need to do it for myself. It's my personal success. But I must admit that when I have success as a coach and like the emotions now are
hmm
stronger than what I have for my personal side than what it compared to be a few years ago.
Oh, phenomenal. I think that does happen because when we lift for ourselves, it's really just us. And, 90% of the emotion is us, 10% for those around us. But when you start to coach, it
Indeed.
switches. It's 90% of your emotion is for your athletes And
Yeah,
that's. And speaking of athletes, we met one of yours. We met Xavier in South Africa. He was here for
indeed.
IPF World Masters. So and he very
Indeed.
kindly put us in touch and said, it would be easier to chat with you because he heard me try to speak French, and he was like, no, no,
It was
I
not
was like, yeah,
possible.
no, not possible, exactly.
And
So.
his English was not possible either.
So it's great that at least we can chat. How did you meet him?
Indeed.
Tell us a little bit about him and what World Masters and what was that like for you as the coach?
So, in France, there are regional competitions, like
Hmm.
uh, local meets. And actually, I met Xavier in one of my first competitions back in 2017, I think. And we were in the same weight class, I guess, at the time. I'm not sure about it. But yeah, so we just started talking. No, there was a good vibe, actually, but nothing more. Like we just crossed in competition, spoke to each other, and that's all. And a friend of us, Noemi Giraud, maybe
Hmm.
saw her at Worlds as well,
Hmm.
is a regional and international referee as well.
Ah, okay.
So I see her pretty much every year at the regional meets, and that went on like for 5, 6, 7 years. Like we spoke to each other, but with really nothing more going on. And one day, I just received a text like 2 years ago, or a little less, from Nemi saying, "Yeah, I have a friend who's looking for a coach," and I said, "Okay, who's that?" And she told me, "It's Xavier Nudon." I
Hmm.
said, "I know that guy. I know that guy." So yeah, just we called each other, and it just started that way. Like he remembered the first years. We had good interactions, so he said, "Let's try with him."
Oh, phenomenal. So now, and he came to South Africa. What was that like for you?
Well, it's the second year, so for him doing words,
Mm.
and of
First
course
Sun
it's
City and
it's an
then
honor.
Cape Town, right? Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. It's an honor for me to coach Xavier and Noemi because they're super nice guys.
Mm.
First of all, that's the most important thing. And second, they're very strong.
Yes.
So it was pretty exciting. I'm just pretty sad, I would say, that it's so far away, so I can't go coach them towards yet.
Mm. Yet.
And yet, I hope next year I will be able to. It's in America, I
Yeah,
guess, so
that's it.
should be fun at least. Uh,
Listen, we've got juniors and
and
sub juniors here at Sun City next year, so just putting that out there.
yeah, I don't think I've sub juniors and juniors going towards this
Yeah,
year, but
yet.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Yet. But yeah, I was very happy for Xavier hitting a personal record total on the meet, and
Awesome.
like the meet level was very high this year.
Hmm.
So the podium on the 105 was pretty hard to get, especially because Xavier's squat is pretty not up to par yet to
Hmm.
the other competitors. But we had some medals on bench and deadlift, so it was very nice.
Absolutely. 105 was really, really tough this year to see.
Yeah.
And, in my opinion, it's the toughest division out there. I think that 105 and 93s, because that's where I compete. So I have to say that. And,
Okay. I agree.
we have to say that. But definitely 105, 120, 120 plus, those are the most fun divisions because I think that's where,
Indeed.
like 120, 120 plus, even 105 to an extent, you're not so worried about cutting weight. You're a little bit more relaxed and it's more sociable than I found with
Yeah.
the other divisions. It's a lot of big guys
Indeed.
having
Yeah.
a laugh. So it's a lot of fun. Of course, when you see the guys doing their second warm up attempt with your in the warm up area with your PB, you wonder, okay, it's fine. I'm just here for fun.
You have to accept it. Yeah.
No, and that's actually something that's really special because what it does is it means that you can step back from the competition and just have fun. And like you're there to
Yeah.
represent, you'll do your best, but you don't have to beat yourself up so much. And your coach can
Indeed.
concentrate on some of the other athletes, and you just go and have a little bit of a blast. So which is
Indeed,
always
yeah.
fun. So I think for you, what was the competition? If you could share, what was the comp like for him? What did he think of Cape Town, of the hotel, the setup? Did he have fun? Did he enjoy it?
So I felt like he enjoyed all the trip. Like last year,
Mm.
I've been to South Africa as well in 2022,
Okay, awesome.
and like yeah, he enjoyed it. I feel like South Africa is a very nice place to be,
Mm.
and I feel like most of the time meets are very well organized. So that's very cool as well for the athletes. And for the meeting itself, well, he wasn't satisfied with the squats,
Mm.
but we had to, like, I don't know if you know, but many years ago, he had an accident on a motorcycle.
I didn't.
So
Okay.
his hips are not in the best shape they could be. So that's why the squats is pretty complicated to train,
Hmm.
especially on the technique side. And we get in a pretty good shape, but we had to change many things on the program for the last few months. So he couldn't really express his strength on the
Mm. Mm.
squats. That was what really pissed him off about the comp. But then bench and deadlift were the best they ever been. So it was a very, very nice experience for him. And we were very, very happy.
Fantastic. You must piss him off more in the squat, then he comes back strong in bench and
Yeah, I'm
deadlift.
trying to. Yeah, I'm trying.
But that's such an important thing actually to talk about, that mindset, because I've been involved in the sport for nearly, probably, I think from about 2012, 2013, around about there. So,
Been a while. Yeah.
and also I tell people I'm dyslexic, so I get mixed up. I went to a coach to learn about Olympic lifting, but I went to the wrong coach and I learned about powerlifting. So
That's so great.
no, actually, what really happened is he took one look at me. He says, "You're too old to start Olympic lifting." I was 40. He said, "You can start powerlifting."
Yeah,
So like, okay, cool, fine. And that
that's
was,
right.
that was a lot of fun, which is great. It's a great sport to start. My body
Indeed.
was actually in bad, like very damaged from many years of martial arts. Too many injuries, and I decided
Okay.
my last major injury was a torn transverse lateral ligament in my left ankle. I think,
Yeah,
and I decided, okay, this is it. I'm focusing on the lifting and stopping the fighting, because
indeed.
you wake up in the
Yeah.
morning and you sound like someone snapping a dry twig, snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can hear that.
yeah, you know, there we go. And
Yeah.
but in that time and seeing lifters, I see two kinds of lifters on the platform: those who maybe bomb on their first squat and carry that first squat failure through the whole competition, and it affects everything. Then I see those athletes that once they finish squat, they put that behind them, they focus on the bench. And then you get those athletes that once the lift is done, it doesn't exist anymore until after the competition, and they go on to the next lift. Do you think that's just those kind of athletes are born, or is that a maturity that develops, or is that some of the coach's responsibility? I'd love your thoughts on that.
I feel it's kind of a mixture of the three factors. So there are people that are born with the like I'm not saying born with it,
Mm.
but they're the first years of their life they learned
Hmm.
to live like so, like the
Yes.
education experience in the young age, you know. So it's just a single nature to them, and they know to live the present, to don't get too much influenced by the negative stuff, and just focus on what they have to do yet. And it's outside of the sport, you know. It's not only in powerlifting. That's why the sport can teach you things about life, and not on the also the way around. So yeah, there are people that are kind of born with it. Some may just need some experience, like you
Hmm.
need to go through it in the sport, like maybe you're a bit emotional and stuff, so you need to experience it many times so you can get used to it and not overwhelmed by it. And of course, they go or very with very little experience. The coach need to be very sure about what he says,
Hmm.
like find the good words, the good way to talk to the athlete and make it like calm down, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. Then, oh,
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. And I think it is. Do you think that's something that can be learnt? And, time on the platform is what is so valuable.
Yeah, definitely. Like every aspect, like I won't say every athlete can get to the elite level mentality, but you can always improve
Yes.
and get as close to it as possible. So
Absolutely. I think maybe it's elite level for your level. You become your most elite.
exactly, yeah,
And I
I
think
agree. Yeah,
that's something the athlete needs to be proud of, and the coach also needs to understand as well.
indeed,
The coaches need to be
indeed.
calm. The coaches can be screaming "Ah!" from the sideline, but when the athlete comes off, you can't be putting your emotion into the athlete if you're upset.
No,
You know,
you're there for him. You're not there for yourself. So
100%, exactly. And I think it's amazing to watch the growth and development in the person, not just the athlete, from the sport. And I'd love to get your thoughts on that. What makes powerlifting so special in enabling a person to become and discover the very best within them, and also I think to learn that they're capable of so much more than they believed.
yeah, so that's why I think first of all, powerlifting is pretty boring for people who don't know the
Mm.
sport or do not live it. It's because they don't understand what's going on the inside of the person. I don't feel like people really understand what's like putting a weight that usually should crush your body on your shoulders on at the end of your arms,
And then deciding to
and you
go
have to stay
down
there
and get
and
up.
lift it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not even just to
by
stand
yourself.
there,
Yeah,
right?
indeed.
What's wrong with us?
Yeah, it's really a crazy sport.
Yeah.
So you have to fight pretty basically every natural reaction of your body, you
Mm,
know? And it kind of puts you through like mental patterns that go against your nature again. And so yeah, when you know the person, like if it's an athlete that's he's born for it, he's very strong, he's very aggressive with it.
mm,
You
mm.
just like to see him express that 100% of his capabilities, and just do great stuff. And when it's an athlete that's maybe more a novice lifter or stuff, but you feel like you can see how he goes under the bar, his evolution over the years, his confidence. You actually can see, yeah, the human side, like having a better progression than maybe the weights.
Mm, mm.
But you can enjoy that a lot, like because oftentimes you see that translating to his life as well, and
Yes,
that's a very nice thing to see.
absolutely. I think one of the things that drives coaches mad, that makes coaches crazy, when they see an athlete with potential who's doing well, and the athlete says, "I'll compete when I can win." Or I'll compete when I know
Yeah.
I'll win. Yet, I think it's so important for the athlete to have time and experience on the platform. What are your thoughts on getting on the platform as much as possible?
Well, based on your level, of course, you can compete 5, 6 times a year if you're very strong, you
Mm.
know. But yeah, getting experience in the first years is a very good thing. You're not forced to go all out on every meet you do as well. So you
Yeah.
just need to get used to the platform, the timing between lifts, the referees, maybe some random stuff that can happen. You have to be used to it to get the more chances
Hmm.
at one point to get the perfect meat.
Yeah.
Because if you do one meet per year, the chances of it going bad is actually pretty high.
Yep.
If you do multiple meets, yeah, you can get used to it. And the main thing is that, like, I feel like if you know you will win, you have no reason to compete actually.
Yeah.
Like, there's no interest in it if you're sure you will win. Like there's no challenge, there's no stress, there's no, like, you win, yeah, but it's not very valuable. Like,
That's it.
it's not fun.
And I think it goes the other way as well, where like someone at my level, I never walk into a meet thinking that, hey, I'm going to lose, because and that's what athletes also need to understand. There's no guarantee you're going to win, and even if there's nine people in your division, as an example, there's no reason that you're going to lose. And we've seen that at international level, where the lowest placed athlete has won because all of the athletes above have bombed or gotten sick or something has happened, and you walk
Indeed,
away with a
yeah,
gold medal. I think it happened at Worlds, and it's quite amazing that that's what's so cool about the sport, and that's why we get so involved with the live streaming, because people need to see how amazing it is. And you made such a good point where people don't understand, if they don't understand powerlifting, then it can be boring. They don't know that it's not only the last training block that's going through your head,
yeah,
it's everything in life. You heard a negative thing about yourself in high school, or your entire life comes into those few milliseconds, and that's what you're battling
indeed,
sometimes, not just the weight.
indeed, indeed. I like it.
Very, very, very special sport. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. We always have some fun questions for our guests. You don't
Indeed.
have to be too serious. So the first one we can be a little bit more serious on. But one thing that you love about powerlifting, what is the thing that you love the most about the sport?
Like for myself or in
No, no,
general?
for you. That's it.
Okay. Well, the thing that keeps me addicted to powerlifting is truly the feeling going on, when you have your music, you're getting ready for a new PR, and like it's pretty basic, but that fear and excitement you get from it, and that the moment where you actually have to do it and you just shut your brain down
Yeah.
and you just go for it, and that's the best part of it
Sure.
for sure.
I absolutely love that answer. And I think it's so important. And to speak to, I mean, powerlifting's for anybody at any age, but I think for the youth, for young people to come into the sport, they can teach you so much about what's real in life. And I spent 15 years before I opened the gym in insurance, and basically an insurance salesman.
Mm,
You know, I love it. We call ourselves financial advisors. No, we're insurance salesmen. And you've got to
indeed.
phone and you've got to make calls, and you've got to face this rejection and all of these challenges. But in reality, as you spoke about prepping, when you're going for a PB, that beautiful moment, there's so much work behind it, and planning and commitment and focus. That's a lesson for life. If you want to hit a PB, if you want to get a
Indeed.
call to a big client and you land that client as an example, or get an appointment, it's all of the work. So you've got to do the work. Every bit of lifting
Indeed.
up to a PB is not a PB. And that's such
I
a
like
great
the
lesson
analogy.
for
That's
life.
super true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you being in front of your phone and just having to shut down your brain and just
Do it.
click on
Yep,
it
that's
and
it.
go for it. Yeah.
100%. You have. I wish I would have thought of having music there, like you get yourself fired up and off you go. But
Indeed.
yeah,
Hello.
hello. Yeah, that's it, 100%. Listen, we would stand up and we'd have a mirror in front of us on the phone, because you want to make sure you're smiling, because people can hear your smile. And I think if you're going
Yeah.
out for a PB with a smile and your music and you're pumping, and then you shut it all down and you do the work in that moment,
Yeah.
that's it. So I think a great, great lesson for life. Absolutely love that answer. Another fun one. Yeah. What drives you mad about powerlifting?
Okay, yeah, that's a very easy one. There are many things, so
Okay.
I'll try to
Hold on. I'm
restrain
sitting
from it.
down. I've got coffee.
But
We're good. We got time.
nice, I have my time. So the thing that actually there are two
Mm,
things that really drives me mad. People on social media uh, complaining, oh, this stuff is hard, but I'll do it anyway. I didn't drink this morning, I ate less stuff.
mm,
So, like, finding thousands of excuses when it's actually very normal stuff that every people goes through, like, you're no special.
yeah.
Like, there are people that actually very go through very hard periods of life for work, family stuff, and they still train. And that's super inspiring. But when you start to complain on social media, I feel like you're making a problem yourself,
Mm. And
and it's
showing the
not a
world
true problem.
weakness as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
So you can share difficulties, but there's a way
Mm,
of doing it to inspire people.
yeah.
And especially like if you miss just one meal per day, it's not a very big problem.
Uh, I'll,
You still have food in your body.
I'll share a story with you on that. And before we go on to your next point, and hopefully some of the people who may have been complaining will be listening to this. A couple of years ago, I went to a school and I did a free workshop. So South Africa, there's a lot of poverty, and a lot of poverty very close
Yeah.
by, and there are poor neighborhoods, and there's real poverty, and even to a level that I didn't even quite comprehend. And I met these kids; they
Yeah.
were in the third year of high school, I will say, so that have 3 years of high school left, what we would call grade 10, and rugby kids, and I trained them. And they all came to me after the third training session. And listen, as a coach, what I put them through was horrible. Sleds, tire
Yeah.
drags. It was brutal, but I think it was the attention. And what I saw with them is that these kids had nothing. And this is where I'm going with the story. Literally nothing. There were packets, empty drug packets on the field because there was a drug epidemic at the school. And here were these young guys and girls committed to their training. And they came up to me and said, Coach, can we come and train with you at the gym? And what I found out was the reason that they were so committed, because some of them were rugby players, they rugby was their only way out. So to get a bursary or a scholarship
Yeah.
to another school or to a university. And there's a whole lot we can chat about on this, but I want to keep to the one point because I don't want to take too much of your time. Is,
No worries. I like enjoying
thank you.
listening to you.
One of my guys, Chris, came to the gym and they started training with me. And the day that I realized how important it was, they would walk nearly 20 kilometers. So up a big, over basically a big hill to get to me. And it was far, it was not
Yeah.
easy. And one day it was a huge storm. Now in Johannesburg, I don't know how it is in France, but we get massive thunderstorms because of the altitude and
Okay.
from the hot water, the weather from Durban, where you cannot see in front of your face. If you put your arm out in front of you, you couldn't see your hand. That's how heavy it's
Okay.
raining.
Yeah.
And we had one of
Yeah.
these thunderstorms, and I was driving to the gym to meet these guys. And I thought, there's no way they're coming. I mean, it's not safe to walk in this weather. And I got to the gym and I parked the car. Let me run to the bathroom quickly. Went to the bathroom, and there they were all sitting, sopping wet. They had hung their uniforms up on the stair banister. They were sitting on the stairs and trying to dry off. And I realized, okay, this is important to these guys. I have to do something. This
Yeah.
was truly their only way out. So we training for a couple of months, and the one day one of the athletes, just another little story, arrives in sliders, in slip slops, the shoes. And I said to him,
Yep.
you can't train in those, dude. It's not safe. And he said to me, Coach, my only other shoes that I have are my school shoes, and those have to last me 3 more years of high school. So I can't walk far in them. So that's the one thing, okay?
Yeah.
People moaning about shoes. The other thing that happened a little bit after that, he was not lifting well in the one day. He was putting in effort. There was no energy. And I said to him, what's going on, dude? And Chris said to me that he hadn't eaten for 4 days because there was no food at home. And there was a little bit of food that came in, and he gave it to his younger siblings. So he wanted his little brother to have food where he didn't have food. That was the level
Yeah.
of commitment. And bear in mind that he had then walked that distance, nearly 20 kilometers after school, to come to the gym to
That's
train.
crazy.
So I think people need to understand that guys are rocking up at the gym, and he became he's a champion powerlifter. He's a champion bodybuilder. He's got a very successful coaching business. He's really
That's
loved
super
by
nice.
everybody. It's absolutely awesome. But he was coming to train with no food for 4 days. So that's when we started a bit of a feeding scheme for the guys. And I know his favorite thing
Yeah.
in the whole world, unless he was cutting for a comp, was banana bread. So just, yeah, on that point of what drives you, don't complain. Don't, because
Yeah.
if you're complaining about missing a day of eating, then, just understand that there are guys who aren't eating for nearly half a week or over half a week and are still coming to train.
Indeed, that's great. That's
Okay.
super inspiring. And yeah, of course, and I don't want to minimize everybody's problem because
Mm,
we all have problems,
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like just just a way that it's respectful towards others,
Yes.
and that's a way where you're just asking for attention, and that I really don't like,
100%. That's so. I mean, very, very great points. I'm hoping someday someone will mention mine, which would be missing weight by, sort of a kilo the night before, and then having to do hot baths to
Yeah.
cut weight. It's not fun. It's not cool. It's like I'd like to be able
No,
to move.
it's not.
Yeah. Hey, I don't care about the medal. I'll move up a division. Is that okay?
That sounds
That's
fair.
right. Is that fair? Keep the medal. I won't even take a participation medal. Just I don't want to. Please, please.
Just let me lift.
Just let me lift.
That's
That's
enough.
why I'm here. I'm just here to lift. Absolutely. I won't even go to the weigh-in. I'll give up my space in the queue. How about that? So just let me
Indeed.
lift.
Indeed.
Maybe you can put on a yellow bib, like sometimes the runners wear. Then, okay, he
Yeah.
didn't make weight, but
And
he's still
sweat it out.
competing. Yeah. I think I'm going to mention this to the
Yeah.
IPF guys when I see them.
Yeah, it could be. It could work. It
I
could
think so,
work.
absolutely. Then people will cheer for you even more. You come out with a little bit of mayonnaise on the side of your mouth, a French
Indeed.
fry,
Just put some
Try,
fun for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Just have a bit of fun. So for you, what would you love to see happen in powerlifting?
That's a very tough question. So the main thing actually it's like more connection between countries,
Mm-hmm.
but just for the like it's not for the sport in itself, it's more for the athletes,
Mm.
but the athletes make the sport. Uh, and that's a thing that SBD actually is doing pretty well, but I feel like federations and stuff should do more. I feel like coaches are getting very professional,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a good point. Uh, I just think that the next step for powerlifting to to improve as a sport in its whole, it's just the federation itself, like giving more to the athletes. National stuff,
Mm.
national comps and stuff. It should at least a bare minimum have some kind of uh, money placement sponsorship for the athletes.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the podium.
Yeah.
Just making it more pleasurable for the athletes to win something, to hit a podium, and not just for the sake of it. Like, yeah, I've been second place at nationals, and that's all. You get
Yeah.
maybe one bottle of wine, or just one pin to put on your sweater, and that's all. And that's not very satisfying. Like,
It's such a good point. Like, even a small amount can make a big difference.
yeah,
That your supplements are covered for 3 months or your meat is covered for, 2 months. Even that makes a very, very big difference
that would
because,
be great.
yeah, because guys are working and very hard
Because
lives
for
like
now,
that.
athletes are only spending money for coaching,
Mm.
physiotherapy, moving to the competitions and stuff, and you actually never get anything back,
Yeah.
and unless you're at Sheffield and stuff,
Yeah.
or sponsored by SPD.
That's
But
it.
that's not for everyone. So yeah, just a little compensation, like little amount that could help athletes.
Be absolutely phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about Sheffield. What was that like?
Crazy, crazy, man. So I coached 2 times at Sheffield, and one time I've been just a spectator,
Mm.
in the public. And well, the first year it was absolutely crazy. Like, I remember, all the organization, all the meetings was super nice. But because I was coaching Noémie Alabert
Mm-hmm.
at the time, and you get to the warm up room, you warm up, you're very stressed because it's a very big meet, especially the first year. And when we had to do the first squat, there's like a black curtain that opens up,
Mm.
and you go through the stage. And at the moment, you can't hear much from the inside. When you go out on the platform, you hear all the people screaming. There are the lights. I actually froze like for 1 second.
Yeah,
It was very overwhelming, and it's super nice. And I really think it's the best thing that happened to powerlifting in the few last years. Like, it really stepped up the game. Like,
absolutely.
it's the greatest experience I've ever had as a
Sure.
as a as a coach or as a spectator.
Because I think
In the
it's
public.
such a great point, and it comes down to making the athletes and the coaches feel so special.
Yeah,
You know,
indeed. There's a show. Yeah,
acknowledging what they've brought
that's
and
for
what
sure.
they've done.
Indeed.
Absolutely. That's very, very cool. So Instagram, unfortunately, only really gives us an hour. So just want to, I don't want to leave stuff out. Tell us a little bit about your
Indeed.
coaching. You coaching individually? Do you do online as well? How do people get in touch with you for coaching?
So yeah, I only do online coaching.
Okay.
So actually, by my Instagram, you can chat with me, or there is a link in my bio.
You
Yeah.
see, that's why I got my pen, so
So
we can do this. That's what I was reaching for.
indeed.
You see, it's over here, guys.
Yeah, so it's not very hard. I'm really open-minded, so I can just like talk to people. So
Mhm.
if people chat with me and ask questions, very easily.
Absolutely. And, it's such a cool thing because there has been a big change in coaching, and this has really opened up. Like, we have a South African coach, Lil. She's built a massive, she got OTG off the grid, and like she had a physical gym. And then also with COVID, shut down the gym and then went online and
Yeah,
realized the value of that because with online coaching, you're not restricted by area, you're not restricted by time
indeed,
zone. This is the cool thing where you can really help grow the sport worldwide. Do you think that online is going to
indeed.
become the main form of coaching within powerlifting going forward?
I feel like it already is,
Mm,
at least for the elite level, but we will forever need some like in-person coaching, for the beginner lifters and for people that need a really personal contact. And I really enjoyed like meeting my athlete and coaching them in person. So I feel like that's a part that can be the most important one,
mm,
but will be a fundamental one forever. Like
yeah,
you can't get rid of it. It's still
absolutely.
super important.
Do you think that there'll be more work in the future within federations between online coaches and handlers at the competitions where perhaps you
I
can't
hope
get there?
so.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
I
chat about
hope
that.
so. Yeah, I would like to, like, French team did pretty good few
Mm,
times to ask myself from about my coaches what I thought it would be best for the athlete. But on midday there are random stuff that happens and you have to adapt on the moment.
mm,
So I didn't always agree with what they did. So I would like to find a way, like for me, the easiest one is just to have some head coaches, from each federations, and then have the possibility for the coach of the athlete. If there are not too many coaches,
mm-hmm,
to just go back with them and just share the moments.
mm, mm.
Especially for the athletes, sometimes they need their coach by their side. I couldn't find a way because we're limited for the number of coaches per
Yes.
country. But like I would like to have the personal coaching in some countries have been more implicated in the midday.
Mm. Maybe even sort of, training sessions between the coaches where the coaches and the handlers can get together for a couple of hours over a few weeks and
That would
discuss
be
the
great.
athletes. To say
Yeah,
because it's a huge thing. Your athlete, and the handlers are
yeah,
doing the best they can. And if they see something like, oh, there was a step, after the at the start of the squat and after the command, and then okay, so we need to stay with that weight, or where they know it's fine. I had it with an athlete at Worlds
indeed.
in 2019 where he missed depth. And I remember our wonderful IPF commentator. I'm not going to mention his name. No, I'm just teasing him. But saying, why didn't the coach go and ask the jury to review the lift? So for me, I didn't because I know the anxiety my lifter has, and I know he'll get the next squat at depth. And that
Yeah,
you don't want to leave him. But if you don't have that sort of knowledge and that insight
indeed.
into the athletes, I think really for the next level, there should be discussion between the coaches and the handlers. And also, I think there needs to be respect from the coaching team that's there for the coaches that are not there.
Yeah, I agree.
You
Like we're all there, especially in international meet, you're there for the country,
Yeah.
like for the athletes first, but representing the country. so you're all together. Yeah, it's not one against the other. So
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, I agree with that.
It's not for personal. It's for the country, and it's to get the most out of the athletes as well because they've sacrificed.
Indeed.
They've worked very, very hard to get there. For you, what are your plans for the future? Can you tell us a little bit about that? On the coaching side, what are you going to be looking to do? What are you wanting to do? On your competition side, is there anything sort of that you'd like to look at doing? I see a big smile.
Yeah,
I'm
there's a
glad
bit
I
going
asked that
on.
question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a bit going on. So yeah, I have both on both sides things coming the next 4 or 5 weeks. I'm gonna compete in 3 weeks and a half. Hopefully, I win again at Italians. I have a very strong opponent, so
Got to give you one of
I'm gonna
those.
enjoy that
Yeah.
one. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big matchup in Italy, and I hope I will win to get to Euros or Worlds again.
Fantastic.
And the week later, I have French athletes competing and an Italian guy competing as well with me. And if everything goes well, I will have some athletes at Euros and Worlds as well. So yeah, there's a bit going on, and I hope
Awesome.
everything goes
So
fine.
fantastic. All the best for you, white lights, lightweights, and for your
Thank you
athletes
very much.
as well. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
One last question that I just sort of want to wrap up with, and then if there's anything that you'd like to mention, what do you think about international club comps? So you spoke about better connection between countries. You know, if you've got clubs that are close on the border, maybe it's a 2, 3, 4 hour drive to have some international club competitions between the different gyms and different clubs.
That could be nice. You should have to look for how many clubs have enough athletes because you can't make your already international athletes compete, you know.
Yeah.
It would be too much.
No, but I think you
So it
can't
would
you
be
can't
nice for
compete if
the
you're an international athlete. It's only for those who haven't competed at international level.
okay. Well, that would be super nice.
Yeah.
I think that would be super nice.
Okay. Well, there we go. You heard it
And
here
France is
first.
already doing it
Yeah.
with Spain, you
Okay.
know. Spain against France,
Yeah.
there's competition actually for that, like for the young lifters until 26 years old, I think,
Okay.
that did not compete at the Euros and Worlds, competing together. It's a very nice thing.
Oh,
Yeah, I like
fantastic.
it.
Absolutely awesome. Okay, fantastic. I'm very happy to hear that. From your side, anything else you'd like to talk about or touch on?
Not especially, just a reminder that powerlifting is a super nice sport, that you have to do it for yourself, enjoy it, don't compare on social media, become the strongest version of yourself,
Mm.
physically and mentally. Don't find excuses. Don't give up, and just keep pushing.
That's absolutely love that. And maybe as another point for social media, don't post numbers that you think will intimidate your competition that you can't hit at competition because you actually you're
Indeed.
putting too much pressure on yourself, unnecessary pressure.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
don't post crazy numbers and then you come to comp and you miss that on your opener and now you're terrified, because you're posting 350
Indeed,
squats
yeah.
and you open on 295 and you're like bomb. It's like no. Okay, so
Yeah,
be
I
kind to
agree with that.
yourself.
Yeah,
So absolutely.
indeed.
Yusuf, really, thank you so much for your time. Absolutely
Thank you
fantastic
for
chatting to you.
invitation again.
No, and I think
It was super nice.
also, if there are any other athletes of yours that you would like us to chat to, if they've got good English or bad English and you want to come on, please let us know. We'll chat in the comments. Absolutely
Indeed,
look forward to that.
I will for sure.
Thank you, and please thank Xavier from us. Just to
I
say
will.
thanks for putting us in touch. I had a fantastic time chatting with you, and I'm going to end.
Same for me.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to end the live stream, but I'll stay in the Zoom with you for a few minutes. When I end the stream, it's going to go black, but just stay on for a few seconds, and then I'll be
No
back. All right,
worries.
fantastic. And thank you
I
to
will.
everyone who is watching on Instagram and on YouTube. And thanks for the. At least we got a you comment from Kevin, so that was great. All right, fantastic. Thank you for your time, Yusuf.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye bye, guys.